Hello everybody, Linkzzey here and welcome back. Last episode we were taking on the Ice Cathedral, trying to get the bulk of the build up, and today we're going to be doing a little bit more detail work. And if you guys missed that episode, I strongly suggest you check it out because we did manage to get an absolute ton of work done on the cathedral, but we've been working a little bit more on the interior of the cathedral. What we lack in a door, we gain with the floor. It took me a long time to get all the calcite for this floor. Oh my gosh, let's just say, at the end of the day, I am very happy that calcite mountains exist. So not only are we going to be doing the interior of the cathedral, but there is a lot of detail work that we need to incorporate into our roof. So this is our palette that we chose in the last episode. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to get any of those blocks incorporated into the actual roof itself, but now that I actually have a good thing going here, I'm able to work in a little bit more shadowing, a little bit more tints, and get rid of a lot more of the snow that's going on up here because it's kind of ruining the vibe. Mind you, that doesn't mean that we're going to be getting rid of all the snow in the area. I do want to keep a little bit of snow like right here in this pocket, making it look like the wind has come by and swept up a bunch of snow and ice that is built up right here in the corner of the pocket right here. So we're going to be using a little bit of snow to our advantage, but a little bit more strategically placed. And in the meantime, as we work on the cathedral and gather up resources, we will be building another pirate ship out here with the Dwarven Kingdom and the Pirate Islands that are based off of One Piece. In today's episode, we're going to be building ourselves a butterfly boat for Amanda, which I'll pop a photo up on screen for you guys right now, so you guys can see a little bit more of what's to come. I'm extremely excited for that boat. But speaking about boats, there is a couple things that I do want to change about the previous boat that we built for Armor Cross, the one right in front of the Dwarven Kingdom. And that is, I think it deserves a little bit of a trim. I think by taking the entire top off this boat and replacing it with dark oak, I think it's just going to bring this entire boat out just ever so slightly a little bit more. And not only do I think it benefits from that, but I can see the edge of the ship just ever so slightly a little bit better from the backdrop of the Dwarven Kingdom. But quickly, before we get into it, I want to show you guys something really quickly. I want you guys to take a look behind me because in the future, I have something absolutely massive planned for the Masa that is going to change this area forever. So take a quick look around, memorize it, because in the future, in one of my next episodes, you guys aren't going to recognize this place. So if you guys want to catch that in the future, it might be a good time for you to double check to make sure that you are subscribed. And if you haven't done so already, please leave a like on the video because it really helps with the channel. But for now, I've got a cathedral to build. And I think where we're going to start things off with the cathedral is going to be the interior here. So I've laid out a little bit of the pillars here. Thinking if I build these pillars all the way up, it should hide that glazed terracotta right there. And then continue it all the way down. So we're going to start off with the pillars. And then I'll be working on a little bit of a centerpiece right here. And then I'll be working on whatever goes back here. And then I'm going to bring the pillars up and over, creating like a really cool effect up here. So let's start designing pillars. Okay, so I think I got myself a pillar basically laid out here. And I'm going to try to work with what I got going on in here. So I've got a bunch of different blocks here. Not sure what the pillars are going to look like just yet. I'm going to kind of do up a bunch of different pillars. And then we can see which one looks the best. But I think that this quartz is going to look really nice to kind of divide it up. I'm going to build a bunch of pillars and we will decide on which pillar is the best. If I make the wrong decision, let me know in the comment section below on which pillar was your favorite, but I'm going to start building these up. Okay, so that's pretty decent so far. I like that a lot. I can actually hide the glazed terracotta in behind this pillar here. Let's try working with a little bit of maybe that would look cool. I don't know. I can't decide whether or not I like this. The ability to be able to see through the wall? A little bit interesting. What if I pulled this forward and I put something in the middle? Let's try that. Okay, with the grates coming out a little bit more forward, I don't hate that. And if we potentially put some sea lanterns in behind there, or what about these frog lights? I don't know if that's going to look good with shaders. I don't mind that. I don't mind that, but I want to continue to keep playing around with this until I can get something that looks really nice. Not bad with the sea lanterns in behind there. Kind of makes it look a little bit more solid, almost like the quartz is going straight through the pillar. It's going to add like a ton of light. We're also going to be taking this and working our way across like as like the archways here, where we're going to be linking up all of our pillars. And you guys probably saw I have been messing around with these walls back here, adding in the circular windows and the doorway. So I actually have a doorway in here now. And now that we have 3 pillars up, I kind of think that this pillar over here with the grates is the worst looking one. I'm kind of leaning towards this one right here that uses up all the warp nylium rather than the warp wood. This one's a little bit lighter. This one comes out a little bit more rich, a little bit more deep in color. And I think that helps it stand out from the prismarine in behind it. And I like the way that the pillars really work well with this. And of course, throwing on shaders, I think it's also going to look really nice. Check that out. Wow. All right, time to build up all the pillars. Yep, I think we pretty much nailed the pillar, but what we didn't nail was the fact that I'm going to be farming end rods for the rest of my life. That might be a little bit dramatic. I'm going to need about 21 stacks of end rods in order to finish this entire thing. So grab myself some purpur and I'm going to go camp out at the Blaze Farm for, I guess, the next foreseeable future so I can finish up the entirety of the pillars on here. But looking at it, honestly, I don't think I want to, I don't know if I want to do the archways anymore because I do want to put a chandelier here. Might put a chandelier over here. I'm kind of feeling like that might obstruct the view of that. Also, looks like we got ourselves a wandering trader. And we found him. Yo, what's up? Ooh, we got Duck Knight, Jigsaw, true form of Midna from The Legend of Zelda, and Litwick. Sweet. And for those of you guys who are ever curious how I get these microblocks in my game, it's through the Wandering Trader. And he looks like he has the best trade of all, Drip Leaf. And I'll grab some of this for Abby. Check him out. Litwick, Duck Knight, Midna, and Jigsaw. I think that's pretty dang cool, don't you? So if you want to come on by to the live streams, you might be able to buy yourself one of these really cool microblocks over here that you guys see and deck out your Hall of Fame plot. Could be fun. Speaking of fun, back to the Blaze Farm. Well, I got a few more stacks of end rods here so I can do a little bit of doodads, but I think that the pillars are looking absolutely amazing so far. I like the way that they kind of frame out this back area here. I'm going to create a nice little facade. I'm going to put my snow farm back here. So this wall over here is going to be put together really well, I think, with the farm. And then I have an entry point, an exit point through there. I'm going to add my chandeliers as well. But what I think I really need to do now is I need to start getting rid of all these torches. And I'm thinking like a nice cyan carpet coming down the middle would look absolutely fantastic. Aw, snap. I knew that having a little bit of a divider in the middle of this floor would look absolutely amazing, and I love it. It's not done yet because obviously you could see like this carpet here. I need to kind of ruffle it up a little bit so it doesn't look so consistent. Have a little bit of the frog lights here that I honestly think that those should be left unexposed or uncovered. And then we got ourselves a little bit of braziers in here, and I think it looking absolutely phenomenal. I'm going to make you guys wait for the whole shader look because I feel like I've been showing you guys that along the way. I've got all of the end rods in place now. I've even decorated the walls in behind here. I think we've almost gotten all the way up to the point now where I could start building the actual snow farm. But before we take that on, I feel like it's a good time to take on that butterfly boat I was telling you guys about earlier. And course, before we're able to take on that boat, we're gonna have to take a quick trip over to the storage room, grab ourselves some resources, and find a spot for where we want to actually put the boat, and of course gather some resources. So I'm gonna lay down a few shulker boxes, and I'm gonna see exactly what we have inside of our storage room in order to get this build started. And honestly, it looks like we have a fair bit of dark oak, which is going to help tremendously because I think their boat's going to be made primarily out of dark oak. It's not looking so good over here, though. We'll grab ourselves a few slabs. We'll grab ourselves a few stairs. We're definitely not hurting for those. And I think I need one more thing that I literally cannot remember how to make, and it's a cartography table. Let's just say it's been a while since I've made one of these. I should most certainly have enough paper in order to do this. I have a sugarcane farm that feeds right into the auto sorter behind there. Speaking about feeding into the auto sorter, my gunpowder supply is severely lacking, and I'm a little bit scared for things to come because I honestly don't have really any gunpowder. And I kid you not, this is all the rockets that I have to my name. Meanwhile, this is all the gunpowder I have in the entire world. So I'm definitely gonna have to build myself something going on here in the mesa. I just can't really think of anything that needs to be done in this area. In the meantime, I'm just gonna be buying stuff from the Wandering Trader because honestly, retail therapy is my vice right now. Or who knows? Maybe I'm hinting towards a complete and utter Masa overhaul. I don't know if that'd be something you guys be interested in seeing. And if it is, and that's something you want to see, let me know in the comments section down below. But without further ado, let's see where we want to put this boat. I'm kind of thinking right here in this pocket because I want her vessel to be heading over towards Point Hope right here because I know she likes to play Phasmophobia, and that is something that I kind of want to work towards. So maybe we put her boat right over here. And better yet, why don't we just set her up right here so we can see her in between the island as we look through here, but also coming in towards Point Hope. So I'm feeling right around here. Yeah, this is the spot. Now, if only I had actual blocks. What am I doing? I tell you, sometimes I forget in behind this wall right here, I have chests and chests and chests full of stone. What am I doing farming stone like a peasant out in the mountains? What the heck? Anyways, I didn't actually have a block in order to kind of mark that out, but now I actually have a block. So let's get to building this thing, huh? Well, damn. Oh, I'm pretty happy with that. Check it out. Look at that. I got like little caterpillars up here. I've got butterflies all over here. I will admit this boat was really hard to design, but it's cool to see it from the creative world into the survival hardcore world. I think it really comes to life. And I'll show you guys a little bit of what I've got going on around here. So of course I have the butterflies in place. Little bit of a little steering wheel right here. As you can see, she is heading on towards the lighthouse right now. Got a little hermit crab. And then here, this is basically her little office space where she has a giant map of the Christmas Island, of Bunny's Island. She has her little notepad right here, and then her little display area just back there. And I'm really happy with the way this turned out. I'm especially happy with my little caterpillar flags. I think those guys turned out absolutely fantastic. I think it's a cute little idea. I wanted to use these guys down here, but I couldn't really figure out how exactly I wanted to make that happen. But all in all, I'm really happy with the way that this butterfly boat turned out. I think it's incredibly unique and adds a little bit of spice in this whole area. But I think that was a nice little cheeky sidetrack, don't you guys? I hope you guys want to see more of those, because I've got a lot more boats where that came from. But I also need to add 2 more additional cats, Oscar and Cricket, over the boat, and then I can kind of finally call it finished. Huh? Anyways, I think I have a barrel full of fish around. Oh my gosh, I do. All right, cool. Let's go breed up some cats. Oh gosh, there's a big part of me who really hopes that I still remember which cats exactly Oscar and Cricket look like. I'm pretty confident that I think I know what they look like, but here's the true test, I guess. Where are... Yeah, I need to also... That guy's up there. So we're gonna do this guy. Get herself a brown cat. Perfect. And then we will be getting this guy and this guy, because I think that Cricket is a little bit more gray. Uh-oh. Are they gonna breed? Perfect. So I just need these 2. I'm not gonna lie, it feels pretty dang good to get away from all those cats, and of course the charged creeper in the vicinity, because oh my gosh, I don't know why I put myself through that much anxiety. And there you have it, 1 cat over there and 1 cat over here, and everything is looking complete now. I love the way that boat turned out. I really do. I hope you guys really enjoyed the boat. It was a really tough one to pull off. I worked very hard and creative trying to get that whole thing going. It was the weirdest thing I've ever had to do because of the sails being butterflies, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out in the very end. And as we zoom on out here, and as the boats start filling up the ocean, I can't wait to build even more boats. But let's get back over to the cathedral. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. I just made myself a fancy new 18,000 snow block per hour snow farm. Something simple, designed by my friend Timmy, the man. He basically put this together for me, and I just sit here, farm up tons and tons of snowballs, and get tons and tons of snow blocks in return. So that's pretty cool. And I put it right at the very end of the cathedral here. Let me know if you guys could tell what the heck this thing is. I don't know how good of a job I did here, but I did my best. It's not done yet. There's still some things I would like to add to this, but pretty much just sit here. You got yourself a book, you got yourself some piano keys, and it's supposed to be a giant organ at the very end of our cathedral. And yeah, I think it adds a nice little pop of color in this whole area, which I think is definitely needed. Speaking about pops of color in this whole area, this on its own looks out of place. So what if we added in a little bit more of these elements? Kind of like in this like region over here, maybe adding in a little bit of foliage just to kind of fill out the area a little bit better. I think that would help make this seem a little bit more set into place. And you know what? I've been doing some thinking here, and I think that this bridge right here isn't really necessary. And the reason behind that is I feel like the bridge is going to have to go somewhere. So just having the bridge just kind of drop off here, but not continue over here is going to be a bit weird in my opinion. So I'm thinking about getting rid of all that stone, and then I can start building up these ice spikes here. And then maybe later in the future, we could make like some sort of zigzagged stairway that goes up to the cathedral. I think that would be a little bit of a better call. And another big thing that I kind of do not want to do as well with the cathedral, I'd want to build something in front of the cathedral to basically take away from the beauty of the cathedral. You know, by having something big in front of all this kind of distracts from all the beauty that we have going on behind. Well, I've been cleaning up the front of the cathedral here, and I think this looks a heck of a lot better. But during one of my live streams, my power went out and my world got corrupted. And well, luckily the cathedral is all good. I still need to get rid of all the snow layers there. Everything in the vicinity also looks really good. And for those of you guys who don't know, when your world gets corrupted, it will either corrupt around you, the player, or it will corrupt in the spawn chunks. It's whatever's loaded. Also, another reason why chunk loaders are very dangerous, or can potentially be very dangerous. Yep, I found it. Found out where everything's completely corrupted. It looks like pretty much the splice out of the iron farm was pretty much taken out and completely replaced with another section of the iron farm, which looks to be like this section right here. So it looks like, yeah, honestly, this section right here getting replaced with that section over there is not the worst. Could be a lot worse if the spawn chunks were a little bit bigger. Oh, looks like our shulkers survived the corruption. We got some weird lighting glitches going on here. How's the iron farm doing? So going down here, this is where I actually have my iron farm. Looks like our dog is chilling. What's up, Jimmy? I don't hear anything, but I do hear a skeleton. Okay, I don't think the iron farm is working. That might be broken, so I'll have to look into that, which is okay because I actually wanted to turn off the iron farm anyways. But honestly, you guys are probably wondering, what is my plan to do to fix this whole thing? And I know what you guys are thinking. You should just load from a backup, but honestly, I'm not going to be doing that at all. I'm actually just going to take the L on this build here. It's a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. At least this build is 3 years old now, and it honestly doesn't look like it's that difficult to be able to replace. So yeah, probably just gonna rebuild this, fix the iron farm. Maybe there's an iron golem somewhere in a cave or whatever it may be. I'll have to relocate my shulkers now. Looks like it cut my beacon completely in half. Did it steal my beacons? Nope, beacons are fine, so that's chill. Yeah, we'll probably just have to take the L on this one. And man, I'll tell you what, those are the spawn chunks over there. This build could have been completely corrupted. I don't think that this build would have been completely corrupted, but let me just say this much. This has been a very bad year for the world. 2024 has corrupted my world twice. One with my computer just completely blue screening one time, and this time with the power going out. It's not the end of the world. It's okay. I'm not dead yet. So we're going to keep on pushing on. So with that being said, I think it's time for me to start building up some ice dragons outside of the cathedral. And man, let me tell you guys this much. I've been absolutely cooking in the creative world because I have used this dragon to basically pretty much come up with my own rendition of these really cool ice dragons. I don't know if we're going to be building 2, 3, or even 4 dragons, but without further ado, let's get into the dragon. Wow. Well, I gotta say this much. I do not love placing tons of string. I pretty much burned through all of my string supplies, which means I'm going to need a heck of a lot more for this. But let's take a look at this dragon, shall we? Oh, I love this dragon. I love the fact that it looks like it's kind of flying around the cathedral. Let me know if you guys think that we should do another one of these, but a little bit more down below here, kind of like having 2 dragons. Would that be a cool idea? Because I definitely don't have the quartz for another one because I made that completely thick. But slap on some shaders. Obviously, the beacon is pretty bright, but I did my best to kind of work out the silhouette of the dragon. And I don't think that looks very bad, to be honest. Obviously, you guys just saw that in the replay mod footage. It almost looks like the skeleton of the dragon because it's almost impossible to see like the actual blue part of the wings. But when you take off the shaders, I absolutely adore the way this dragon is looking. But like I said, should we build another one? I have a couple different iterations of dragons that I would love to build, but I want to build those dragons a little bit more off in the distance. but I currently am fresh out of quartz, so I need to replenish that, which is exactly why we have over 150 masons basically over here in the Dwarven Kingdom, so I can pretty much bring back those resources as quickly as possible so I can build more dragons. The only downside is that I'm quickly running out of emeralds and my iron farm's broken, so that's lovely. I don't know if I ever showed you guys the map of the Dwarven Kingdom, but here it is. I'm hoping to actually have Amanda's boat inside of this map too. If not, we can expand it. But all this quartz trading's got me thinking, one of the very first things we are going to need in this area is definitely a super smelter. But I want to break my last year's record of how much experience I have gained from the super smelter. And that is around 31,000. And I think the year before that was around the 51,000 mark. So probably in the foreseeable future, you guys will see a massive super smelter being built up around this area. And of course, getting these guys a little bit more organized, because right now it is looking like a chaotic disaster, and trading with them is honestly so annoying. And now with all that trading said and done, we are currently at 1.7 million villager trades. It's numbers like that that make me not want to build a raid farm in my world, because seeing the numbers slowly growing over time is super satisfying. And speaking about satisfying, look at these furnaces. If I can run on a diagonal strafe, absolutely love that. When you can see like all the furnaces filling up with quartz the whole way down, I think that's absolutely beautiful. But I've got a bunch of quartz cooking up. I've got actually filling it right back up with coal as well. The coal supplies are looking a little bit scarce, I'm not gonna lie, but if I didn't do the big dwarven dig, I would probably be in a little bit worse shape. But I'm gonna stick around here, wait for some quartz to cook up, maybe go make some emeralds by doing some iron trades, and I might be ready to take on another dragon. Who knows? We now have 2 dragons, one on the right side, one up in the upper left, and I think that that looks absolutely amazing. Let me give you guys a little bit of a closer look here. So by flying all the way up here, you'll also notice that I've been doing a little bit of work in front of the actual like pathway here, but decided to make this dragon over here just a little bit lower, rotate it, throw it on the other side of the cathedral, and then have this one look like it's kind of like sweeping around the cathedral, but this one kind of looks like it's sweeping around the cathedral from over here. And I think that looks absolutely beautiful. Of course, when we're over here and coming out of the cathedral, which this obviously needs a little bit more work, looking at the dragon just kind of like sweeping on by is absolutely beautiful, which makes me want to build something a little bit down here just so I'm able to look up at the dragon. Yeah, the tail needs a little bit of work. I kind of struggle with tails. Honestly, I should probably just that does like kind of look kind of stupid, huh, from this angle. All right, I gave it the thickness. I think that looks a little bit better. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. I think that that looks pretty decent though. But the way that the dragon is just kind of like sweeping on into like this whole region looks absolutely beautiful. There's one more angle that I want to look at this from, and that is from way down here when I'm coming through this little ice like cave that I'm going to be coming out of. So the immersion is really important to me. Being able to see that dragon right there, and then coming out and seeing the both of the dragons circling around the cathedral. What are they defending? I don't know. There is a mega build coming up here in the very near future, and I'm going to tell you guys what that is. That is going to be Lord of Dragon Mountain, and I've got some really cool things planned for that. But I am absolutely in love with these 2 dragons here. This one up here, I think, should be named Aurora because it looks absolutely gorgeous with the Aurora Borealis behind the cathedral. But what are your guys' thoughts on a name for this one? Maybe they're twins, a female, maybe a male, maybe they're mates. Who knows? Give me some names. Give me a little bit of a story to work with here because I'm really, really curious, and I suck at naming things. So I look forward to seeing what you guys have for these guys. But I want to kind of address more of my attention towards the entrance of the cathedral. I have a really cool idea where potentially what I could do is when I hollow this out and we go into the depths of the cathedral, like let's say we go into a new area, I thought a really neat idea would be like kind of like making a lot of this water and almost making it look like an iceberg bridge as we go into the cathedral. Could be a really neat way of creating some movement in here and kind of adding a little bit of water into the build, because I do want to do that. And I also want to build up a little bit of the ice spikes in front of the cathedral to get rid of a little bit of this wasteland here. I've been kind of juggling the idea of also adding in a fountain as well. I just don't want to take away from anything. I was thinking a fountain right here would be kind of nice. So yeah. And then flying on the inside of the cathedral here, you guys will notice that I opened up this door just mainly because it kind of looked really, really odd looking at the cathedral and just having like a straight flat wall. Obviously, there is some work to be done on this side. You'll also notice I did work up a little bit of the foundation and the snow as well. Let me know what you guys think about the organ. I'm not 100% sure if I'm about it. I like it. I think it's cool, but I'm kind of on the fence, you know? But this is basically what is hiding my snowball farm in behind here. And I want to add in more dark oak, more copper elements along the side of the cathedral, just to kind of make it look a little bit more lived in. And of course, as I said before, I want to be putting in a nice, beautiful chandelier here. So I think we're going to finish off the episode hopefully with the chandelier if I have enough time. These dragons have taken up a lot of my time, and then potentially adding in another chandelier right here as well. If I could fit it in the area, that's a kind of a weird spot to add a chandelier, and it might be weird having two chandeliers. So we'll see exactly what we want to do with that. But in the meantime, I'm just going to continue on with like tying everything together, cleaning everything up, adding in a little bit of the snow going up here. This roof needs to be addressed, but there is one thing that I'm severely low on, and that is string. This is all the string that I have to my name. I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time at the string farm, gathering a little bit more string, but I think I'm going to do that periodically because, well, I don't AFK, so it's not like I could just chill there overnight or anything like that, because that's obviously very dangerous in a hardcore world. So this is just going to take a little bit of time. Speaking of taking some time, I've been spending a little bit of time inside of the cathedral, filling up a little bit of this interior here, building up a little bit of a throne, adding in these little bushes. I forgot the fact that these are actually oak leaves. I forgot that they changed colors in this biome, which is super awesome. But got a little bit of that to kind of just to kind of like narrow down the pathway a little bit here. Added in a little bit more of the copper tones to go along with our organ here on the sides with these little tables. Love the way that these benches turned out. I'm also trying to come up with creative ways to actually light this area up so I can slowly start knocking out some torches along the way. And of course, we have a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it, like a frost throne here. That's just kind of like radiating ice and kind of taking over this entire area with a little bit of an Arctic pup. It's gonna be our dire wolf. What's up, buddy? And then I've been kind of like lighting up the area using stuff like this, which I think actually blends pretty well here. So yeah, things are actually coming together here. Really, really nice. Added in the chandeliers, which is definitely super nice. I think I actually have my gamma way up. Ah, yes, this is looking a little bit better. Definitely had my gamma cranked. Whoops. Anyways, I think we might actually be able to finalize this project in today's episode, because there's honestly not a whole lot left to go. The front side of the cathedral, I've put in a little bit of work here, adding in a little bit of the ice spikes, roughing up the terrain a little bit here, adding a little bits and pieces of diorite. And I've already kind of touched on the fact that I want to expand this area into an ice cave, and I think I've kind of set myself up nicely for that. And I just literally can't get over the view from all the way down here. It's absolutely beautiful. But what's not beautiful is the shulker monster that I'm going to have to clean up within the next couple days, because we will be moving on to the next big project. which I'm very excited about. You guys want a bit of a spoiler where the next ascension is going to take place? Well, let me show you. Yep. Right here, we're going to be expanding our city project finally. This is something that I've been wanting to do forever. I have so many city builds going on in here, and I cannot wait to finally expand the city, because as of right now, it looks super small, just being a little bit of a city block, but I want to expand it all the way out here, all for a sheep farm. Mind you, you did just witness what I would do just for a snow block farm. So what am I willing to do to take on my next sheep farm, which will actually be the third one we have in the world? But anyways, I've got a cathedral to finish up this episode. If you guys made it to this part of the episode where I put out the spoiler, let me know in the comments down below. I'm interested to see if you guys have made it this far in the video, because I know that this video is going to be a little bit of a long one, just because I want to get this whole project done in today's episode. And in order to finalize this project, I need to get rid of all of my shulker boxes. And I've already made 3 trips back to the base, trying to get all the shulker boxes cleaned up. I'm also tying up some odds and ends around the cathedral, which is also very nice. And then I'm thinking about also doing a dragon's nest, maybe around this region right here. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I just don't know how Bone's gonna look in the snowy area here. And on the inside of the cathedral, I've been doing a little bit more of the lighting up, so I think I've gotten rid of every single torch in the vicinity and kind of lit up parts of the roof as well, just to kind of like light everything up a little bit nicer. Except for this area, I actually kind of really like the way that that shadow holds that window in place, but I'm going to be in the storage room for quite some time. And of course, since we're done doing the project now, or at least finalizing the project, I have a piece of blue ice here that I've named the King Over the Frost. It's going to be for Doug. We're going to pop it up on the wall with the rest of the finished ascensions. So I'm just going to plop them right here, which is really exciting. That means we get to take on a brand new row. And then somewhere over here, I think it's this lever right here, just to turn on the light, just like that. You know, that reminds me, putting away all these items back into the storage system, that the new update drops on Tuesday, and I should probably look into potentially finding some space in here so I could put the new pale wood and the new pale log. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to fit it over there, but fortunately, I've lent myself a lot of space over here so I can add additional stuff. So this is probably where all the new pale garden stuff is going to go, with all the resin blocks. And in the meantime, I've been name tagging all of these shulker boxes, so I'm thinking about doing that the whole way through. So if I randomly drop over 100 levels here, don't be alarmed. Well, I have a feeling that it's going to be quite some time for our auto sorter to completely catch up. I have name tagged all of the shulker boxes all the way to the end here. I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break, because let me tell you this much, it is quite the mundane task, and I think I've parted with as many levels as I would like to today. But you didn't think we weren't going to build another dragon, did you? Because I've got one more dragon that I think we should build. Now, embarrassingly enough, I know I'm going to be building over here, but I'm honestly tired of getting more and more beacons, and I'm too lazy to make more. So I'm just going to grab this beacon for now, because the dragon that we do plan on building is actually going to need 2 of these, like the previous dragons, but also think this is going to be enough resources to get it done. And just like that, as the sun comes up, we now have a little baby ice dragon here. So now we have Aurora, Boris, and Alice for the Aurora Borealis that happens out here in, well, basically the North Pole. But little buddy thinks they're slick, flying in between the towers here. If I look at it from like straight on, you guys can see that as it's flying straight through there. I thought I was out of rockets there for a moment. I'm a little bit worried, but I think we'll be okay, because I feel like if these end rods here would have made these ice blocks, it would have done it by now. So I think we're kind of good for that. But I absolutely love this dragon. This is near and dear to my heart. I built this previously before, inside of my minecart ride at the very end. I just made a few additional changes, obviously with the wings, and gave it some little tiny little arms, and I'm absolutely in love with this little guy. And there you have it. 3 dragons, a cathedral, and a butterfly boat all in one episode. If that doesn't deserve a thumbs up, I don't know what will. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. I think we are finally wrapped up here with the Ice Cathedral for the time being. I still have plenty of things planned for the future, as I always do. And I just want to thank each and every single one of you guys personally for all the love and support along the way. I know that this episode was a little bit of a longer one, and I know this is coming out around the time Thanksgiving is happening in the United States. So I hope you guys have all enjoyed your Thanksgiving, and until next time, I'll see you guys in the next episode.